5 years ago, if someone told you that Chinese cars would be making German engineering nervous, you would have laughed. Today, German executives are losing sleep, and for good reason. China just flooded the market with machines that don't just copy, they innovate. And the craziest part, the best Chinese cars right now aren't even the cheap ones anymore. They are luxury tech monsters that cost as much as a Porsche. So which ones are actually worth your attention? Let's count down the top 5 Chinese cars dominating 2024. China is now the largest car market in the world, and they figured out something important. Western cars evolve slowly. Chinese cars evolve at smartphone speed, while traditional brands are still arguing about whether touchscreens are safe. Chinese manufacturers are putting artificial intelligence and spaceship interiors inside cars that cost half the price. The result? Cars that feel like they belong 5 years in the future. Here are the 5 that prove it. Starting at number 5, we have the Zeekr 001. If you don't know Zekr yet, you will. They are basically the premium electric arm of Geely, which also owns Volvo and Lotus. So yes, they know what they are doing. The Zekr 001 looks like a shooting brake, but with muscles. It is low, wide, and aggressive. From the front, it has those big split headlights that make it look like a predator staring you down. The rear is wide with a full light bar. It sits on massive wheels and has hidden door handles, because apparently every Chinese car needs those now. Inside it is minimalist but not boring. There is a floating touchscreen, a thin digital instrument cluster, and materials that feel expensive. Not fake expensive, but actually nice. The seats are sporty but comfortable, and there is a massive glass roof that makes the cabin feel open. Space in the back is generous too. You can fit adults without them complaining. Performance-wise, the Zekr 001 is quick. The dual-motor version hits 60 in around 3.8 seconds. That is supercar territory from a few years ago. Range is solid too easily. Over 400 miles on the longer-range models depending on the battery option. It handles well because it sits on a dedicated electric platform, and the air suspension keeps things smooth. Price-wise, it undercuts the Porsche Taycan and Tesla Model S by a lot while offering similar space and speed. This car is for someone who wants something different. You want an electric car that isn't a Tesla and isn't a German sedan? This is it. Compared to the Taycan, it is softer, more comfortable, and better for daily driving, but it doesn't feel quite as special from behind the wheel. Still at this price? A bargain. Number 4 is the AVA 12. Now AVA 12 is a collaboration between Changan Cattle and Huawei. So you have a battery giant and a tech giant building a car together. The result is insane. The AVA 12 is a sedan, but it looks like a futuristic pod from a movie. There is no rear window. Seriously, look at it. The rear is just a smooth panel with cameras. You use cameras instead of a rear view mirror. The front has this wild light signature, and the whole car sits low and wide like a luxury spaceship. Inside it is even wilder. There is a massive screen that stretches across the entire dashboard, and I mean massive. The steering wheel is shaped like a yoke. The seats are ultra comfortable with massage functions, and the materials feel like a modern art gallery. Because there is no rear window, the interior feels private and cocooned. Tech-wise, this thing runs on Huawei's operating system, which is lightning fast. The voice control actually works, and the driver assistance is some of the best from China. Underneath it uses a Cattle battery, so range is strong, around 400 miles on a full charge. The dual-motor version is fast, not brutal, but quick enough to keep you entertained. Handling is more comfort-focused. This is a car to cruise in, not carve corners with. Price-wise, it sits in that premium electric sedan space, competing with the Mercedes EQE and Tesla Model S. But the AVA 12 looks like nothing else on the road. This is for the tech lover, the person who wants the newest gadget and also needs 4 doors. Compared to the Mercedes, it feels 20 years more advanced inside. Mercedes feels old next to this. Number 3 is the Yangwang U7. Yangwang is BYD's ultra-luxury brand. Yes, BYD makes the cheap electric buses, but Yangwang is their answer to Rolls-Royce and Bentley. The U7 is a massive luxury sedan that looks like it was designed by a storm. It is aggressive with sharp lines, a huge grille, even though it is electric, and a presence that demands attention. It sits low but wide, and the wheels are enormous. It looks expensive because it is. Inside is where things get wild. Yangwang means looking up to the stars, and the interior tries to reflect that. You get screens everywhere. A screen for the driver, a screen in the middle, a screen for the passenger. The materials are leather, wood, and metal. Real metal, not plastic. The seats are like first-class airline seats with heating, cooling, massage, and probably a feature that tucks you in at night. The rear seats are even more luxurious with entertainment screens and controls for everything. Performance is shocking. This car weighs a lot, but BYD claims it does 0 to 60 in around 2.9 seconds. That is physically impossible for something this size, but apparently they did it. It uses BYD's own tech with 4 motors, 1 for each wheel, so it can do things like tank turns and park itself sideways. The battery is huge, so range is decent, but let's be honest, nobody is buying this for efficiency. Price-wise, it competes with the Mercedes EQS and BMW i7, but undercuts them while offering more power and more crazy features. This is for the billionaire who already has a Rolls-Royce and wants something that feels like a transformer. Compared to the EQS, the U7 has more personality. The Mercedes is safe and refined. This thing is unhinged in the best way. Number 2 is the Maxro S800. Maxro is a new name, and it is a collaboration between Huawei and JAC. This is aimed directly at Maybach. The S800 is a stretched limousine-style sedan with proportions that scream money. The front has a massive chrome grille because even in the electric era, some buyers still want that traditional luxury look. The headlights are intricate, and the paint is deep and flawless. The wheels are multi-spoke and massive. It looks like a car that should have a flag on the front. Inside you get 2 seats in the back. Only 2. Because if you have a chauffeur, you do not sit in the middle. The rear seats are recliners with leg rests, heating, cooling, massage, and probably a button that brings you champagne. There are screens everywhere, and the roof is lined with stars like a Rolls-Royce. The materials are absolutely top tier. This is not fake leather. This is the real stuff. Performance is smooth and silent. It is not about speed, it is about wafting. The electric motors provide effortless acceleration, but the magic is in the quietness and the ride quality. You feel nothing from the road. Huawei handles all the tech, so the infotainment is slick, and the driver assistance is advanced. Price-wise, this is 6 figures. It competes with the Mercedes Maybach and Bentley Flying Spur. The difference? The Maxro has newer tech and a more modern interior. The Maybach still has that heritage, but the S800 shows that China can build a genuine luxury liner. This is for the person who wants ultimate comfort and wants to show that they are ahead of the curve. Number 1. The Nio ET9. This is the one. The car that makes everyone nervous. The Nio ET9 is a flagship sedan that is packed with technology that shouldn't exist yet. Design-wise, it is massive and imposing. It has that Nio face with the sharp headlights, but the proportions are longer and lower. The roofline is sleek, but inside, there is enough room for a basketball team. It sits on massive wheels, and the whole thing looks like a luxury yacht on wheels. But the exterior is not the story. The interior is where Nio goes crazy. The ET9 has a cabin that feels like a private jet. The front seats are separated by a massive center console. The rear is the real show. 2 individual seats that recline almost flat with ottomans. There is a panoramic roof and a giant screen that drops down from the ceiling for movies. The materials are insane. Soft leather, real wood, and metal details everywhere. It feels like a lounge at 35,000 feet. Now the tech. The ET9 uses Nio's own 900-volt architecture, which means charging is insanely fast. We are talking adding 200 miles of range in 10 minutes fast. It also has active suspension that can scan the road ahead and adjust instantly. And it has Nio's latest autonomous driving hardware, which includes LiDAR and cameras that pop up from the roof. This car drives itself better than almost anything else. Performance is effortless. It is heavy, but the electric motors push it hard. 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds, which is ridiculous for a luxury barge. Range is excellent, over 500 miles on the longer battery pack. And because Nio has battery swapping, you can literally swap the battery in 3 minutes instead of charging. Price-wise, it is expensive. It goes head-to-head with the Mercedes EQS and BMW i7 and even the Porsche Panamera. But the ET9 offers more tech, more space, and a more futuristic experience. This car is for the early adopter, the person who wants the absolute latest and greatest and doesn't care about badges. Compared to the EQS, the ET9 feels like a generation ahead. Mercedes is playing catch-up here. So how do these stack up against the Germans? The simple answer is tech. The Germans have refinement and heritage, but the Chinese have innovation and speed. A Mercedes EQS is a great car, but the Nio ET9 makes it feel old. The BMW i7 is luxurious, but the Maxro S800 offers more rear seat comfort for similar money. The Chinese cars are pushing boundaries while the Germans are iterating. If you want a car that feels like the future, you buy Chinese. If you want a car that feels like the past, you buy German. China learned fast. They built cheap cars. Then they built good cars. And now they are building great cars. The Nio ET9, the Maxro S800, the Yangwang U7. These are not jokes. These are serious machines that deserve respect. The next time someone laughs at Chinese cars, just show them this list, because the joke is over. China won. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The automotive world is changing fast, and we are tracking every move. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.